And we are live. Hello everyone, hope you're all doing alright. Let me just make sure we get clocked in here as well. Incidents. There has been quite a few things happening, so there's that. We should be on the app now, which is... Yep, and we just got on first, so that's good. Yeah. So we're hoping Dash becomes available today. And yeah. We've still got some food. We've still got 5 and 5, which should be good. Yeah. Don't know if there's anything that's needed to do tonight with it, with the hiring stuff. Yep. Obviously, we've only got 12k in the bank. Did I put that in on the books that I'd put that money in? Yes, we did. So we'll hopefully try and get another 5k today. Yeah. Be free to talk second. So at least I've sent him a message, so he'll get that. Hey. No one. Do I have anything on my to-do list? I know I need to do the appeals. This so I can copy the name. Someone's calling. Oh, and they've stopped. Okay. Right. I didn't save. screenshot of just. Well. The I've sent the question off. Date today is the... Hello?
City Hall, 10 minutes.
I'm already here. Oh yeah, I'll
Alright,
see you
cool.
there. Case ID is... anything. Hello?
Where you at?
I'm in an office on the
Come
top
up,
floor.
come, you on second floor, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, come to the stage real quick.
Babe, call my assistant. We'll
Come
set
where,
something
sorry?
up.
Where are you in your, what offices are you in?
I'm on the top floor.
Right, I see.
Okay.
So, city,
Hey, yo, have my money tomorrow.
Hello. Oh my god, you keep disappearing from me, by the way.
Oh, that's just this building.
Okay, that's fine.
you still hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you now here.
Alright, cool.
We're just waiting for a third.
What was that, sorry?
We're just waiting for a third.
Mm-hmm.
Last one.
Right, I just gotta get the interview up and interview questions up and stuff like that. Have you got the interview questions, yeah? Pickering and
Yep.
Richard? Alright, cool. Frazzle's sit over there opposite us. Right, Frazzle, can you state your call sign and your name, please?
425 Frazzle Clay.
Right, cool. What made you interested in becoming a bar certified officer?
I've got previous experience in court. I feel like if people need that, I can provide it. Obviously now bar license being a mandatory if you want to represent somebody in court, I believe. Yeah, so be there high command to help my fellow officers as well.
How do you believe your legal training as an officer can help improve the LSPD?
Obviously I'm PNT lead. So anything I gain experience, I pass that experience on to cadets, FTOs. So I believe going for my bars license and getting experience in court means I can also help cadets with common questions that they might get asked in court.
In your own words, why is it important for officers to understand the law but beyond enforcing it?
Because we deal with law day to day. We need to ensure that we are not using the law in our favor and that we are just. And by understanding the law, we are able to enforce it correctly and justify. I don't know that word, but yeah, justice.
What is the biggest legal challenge LSPD have to this current day?
Biggest legal issue action. Well,
Y- Biggest legal challenge like LSPD have?
I think our report Ryan is one of the biggest issues, and I think how we conduct ourselves as officers.
Cool. What is the difference between probable cause and reasonable suspicion? Give an example of each.
Probable cause, you need evidence.
Is rushing through.
That's the difference. And an example for probable cause would be seeing somebody shoot and discharge their firearm. That will give you a probable cause. Or you see somebody actively rob a store.
Yep. Uh, Hold up, I've lost myself. There we go. Explain the significance of Terry versus Ohio in law
Uh,
enforcement.
The ability to frisk gives officers the ability to frisk under the two main reasons. One being, having reasonable suspicion and belief that they're armed and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It also provides officer safety as well.
When are Miranda rights required to be read, and what happens if they are not?
You cannot question them. But if they're not read, you can't take them to interrogation room and interrogate them without obviously them understanding their rights, and that cannot be admissible in court.
Mm-hmm. What is the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine, and how does it impact a investigation?
So anything that is found within the investigation will not be admissible. If it's found illegally, essentially that it wasn't found, legally.
Yeah.
That will affect the evidence, the any investigation because we have to throw that out.
Explain Tennessee versus Ghana and how and how it affects police using their force.
Tennessee versus Ghana gives the ability to officers to use deadly force against a suspect under the requirement that the suspect is a fleeing felon and they are armed and dangerous and pose a threat to the members of the public.
If that suspect was unarmed,
Yep.
however, did pose a threat to public safety and officers, what can you do in that situation?
If they pose a threat, for example, we have day-to-day basis where we have vehicles using their, suspects using their vehicles to ram officers at high speed. So you would class the vehicle as a weapon, and you could still use Tennessee versus Ghana and apply deadly force. Example would be code red.
Mm-hmm. A suspect is arrested without a warrant, and prosecution wants to use evidence found in his home. What legal doctrine might prevent this evidence from being admissible?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
A suspect is arrested without a warrant, and the prosecution wants to use evidence found in his home. What legal doctrine might prevent the evidence from being used in the court of law?
I'm not too sure on this, but I'm gonna throw LSPD versus King. I'm not 100% sure on that. My apologies.
Yeah, fair enough. What constitutes an unlawful search and seizure under the Fourth Amendment?
What was that? Sorry, what does what?
What constitutes an unlawful search and seizure under the Fourth Amendment?
I'm
Nim.
gonna be honest with you, I'm not too sure about that. Apologies about that again.
Yeah. Can you tell me 3 objections?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Objection, leading, and objection, call for narrative.
How should a officer prepare for trial testimony?
They should essentially make sure that any statements
Hey, one day, how you doing?
from other officers are ready and well prepared, ensuring that no one is within the law enforcement team is telling lies, making sure that their testimony is the truth, nothing but the truth. As officers, they have the right to not to be honest, otherwise they will get done for perjury. Ensuring that every evidence is brought into light, every evidence is given light, despite obviously being court or bench trial, despite it being in the report, and making sure that there's a structure for how they want their court case to go, and questions, they need to have their questions ready.
A defense attorney tries to discredit you on the stand. How do you respond if a defense attorney tries to discredit you on a stand?
Obviously you can ask for a sidebar for the judge, but obviously if they're trying to get under your skin or trying to get a rise out of you, you remain calm, remain professional, and carry on, because they are the ones that clearly care that much to try going for personal insults.
Yep. A defense attorney argues that you lack probable cause for an arrest. How do you justify your decision?
I would obviously shed the light into evidence, meaning what was the reason we arrested them. So the charge, I would articulate the charge based on what we arrested them on, and I'd go from there. Meaning, for example, if it was resisting arrest and the attorney said to me, or no, sorry, the defender said to me that it wasn't, there's no probable cause, I would obviously reply saying my officers gave the suspect multiple warnings and he carried on fleeing from officers while being apprehended. That's how I justify the probable cause.
If a prosecutor asks you to slightly alter your testimony to make the case stronger, what do you do?
No. Anything is in the testimony means to be the truth, and needs to be nothing but the truth.
Explain the process of obtaining a search warrant that must include and what must be included in the warrant request.
Obviously, we have a template. So the date, time, report number we're requesting for, the suspect's name, what the suspect charges are, Then it goes down to give a debrief on the description. In the debrief, you need to explain the probable cause of going into that person's property. Is this search warrant, correct? Or arrest warrant, sorry.
Search warrant.
Yeah, so
Oh
hold on.
no, he's there. He's there.
Oh, there we go. The probable cause is strong, and it has base as foundation. Once you've done that, making sure that everything's done, you get a supervisor to check it, and that's mainly command or high command like around PD. Once they've checked it, they signed it off. You then post it to the DOJ channel.
Yep. What is the plain view doctrine?
Meaning that anything that an officer goes into a hot pursuit, meaning that a suspect runs into their house while an officer is obviously chasing after them. Anything that they view in the house, they can obviously now seize because it's in plain view. That doesn't mean if you see their storage, you can start searching their storage. No, it means anything in plain view. Let's just say there was an AR sat on the bed. Our officers can now seize that as for they've seen it and they cannot ignore it.
You make an arrest, but other officers fail to properly document evidence. How do you handle this?
Sorry, can you say that again?
You make an arrest, but another officer fails to properly document evidence. How do you handle this?
I will ask for the evidence. If the evidence that we're holding, if the officer hasn't processed it correctly and I have enough time, I'll go back and ensure that I can document it. For example, the vehicle. If not, and it's the main reason of our charge, and lawyer is arguing, and that is the main sole reason we're charging them, I'd have to drop it. I'm not trying to prove something that we don't have evidence for. It's our fault. We fucked up. I'd rather we drop it there than go to court and it'd be a fester.
Yep, cool. Right, that's the end of questions. Step,
Mhm.
can you step outside real quick and make our decision?
Perfect.
Make sure you're whispering.
Yep.
He fucking smashed that. Respectfully, he only struggled on the hard questions, by the way. The fucking Fourth Amendment shit. So, what's your opinions on it?
Yeah, all good. I think you did
Yeah,
well.
I think he did alright. He didn't do. I've seen worse.
For
Don't-
me, he messed up on quite a few of them. He got doctrines mixed up, and rights mixed up. He crossed the plain view doctrine in with hot pursuit doctrine, which you can't do.
Hmm. What I'll do is I'll give it to him, but I will require him to do some lessons with me.
Well,
That's
for
rough.
me, it would be a no for now.
Hmm.
I can see there's some potential there. He just needs to understand that he can't cross doctrines and rights over, which is what he was doing with his answers.
Uh,
He was also answering a majority of questions to do with his policing rather than if he was the one involved in the top of the case.
Jack, what's your opinion on it?
I mean, at the end of the day, all he knows is, in law regards, is anything to do with PD, because that's what he's around constantly. So his natural answer is always going to be geared towards his PD point of views.
Yeah.
But I think you can't expect officers to have all the court proceedings and everything under a scratch to a T, mate. You need to allow them time to adapt to it and learn.
Yeah.
If we're doing the staged tier, then definitely he needs to learn a lot more.
What I'll do is I'll give it to him and I'll make a fucking document of learning material for him. Because he knows the stuff, it's just that he doesn't know courtroom stuff.
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. We'll give it to him, and then I'll just sit down with him and tell him what is what, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right, Frazzle, you have got bar license. However, you will be required to come do some teaching by me or Kenneth whenever
Is
he's of
Teaching or training? So
training. But
perfect.
just because you're kind of mixing up your hot pursuit and stuff like that with Plainview Doctrine. So yeah, you have got your bar license, but you will be. I will have to do some sort of training with you.
Oh,
to
mate, grab me
make-
an MRPD. I'm more than happy to.
All right, cool.
I'm doing pretty good. I've
Uh,
obviously got this to sort out, and I've also
who's
got
on my
a
list next?
appeal to sort out.
Cara, is Cara around or is she busy?
I think she's busy, but you can try. I can try ringing her if you want.
Yeah, can you ring her, see if she's available?
Hello, Cara. You busy right now? Okay. They're just the judges. They are able to fit you in for your bar license interview right now. Yeah, if you come down to the courthouse. Oh, perfect. See you there. Bye.
You coming, yeah?
She's coming. Yeah, she's coming.
Right, you lads stay here. We got one more, maybe a couple more.
I appreciate it for your time, Your Honors.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Uh, I'm coming up with this. I'm doing this paperwork now. Okay.
I think we got. Richard, have you got food? Have you got enough food?
I've got 4 of each. Yeah.
Alright, cool, you're calm.
Hello.
Right, stay over there.
Oh, water.
Right, Kara, have you got enough food and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Right, cool. Can you
Should I
state
sit
your
in the
name
middle?
and call sign?
It is Cara Monroe. It is 632.
Right. What has made you interested in becoming bar certified as a police officer in the LSPD?
To be honest with you, I'm interested in being bar certified because I actually really like the court system, and I have always kind of been interested in the judicial system. I did like work as a prosecution for one of the the first murder case in the city that actually went through. So I enjoyed that, and I wanted to do it.
Oh, suspicious package on the coast. I don't really care. Anyway,
What the hell?
Sounds like someone in Speedos.
how do you believe your legal training can improve the LSPD?
I think in terms of making sure that that everybody is like represented fairly, you know. I think it would be good. And like, you mean in terms of if I was bar certified, what it would bring to the LSPD?
Yes.
I mean, I think I have kind of like a passion for you know, I have a passion for like the LSPD, and I think it would be good to have a few more people who are bar certified on it, you know, just to, you know, help represent.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit in the middle, so it's because I feel off balance. Sorry, I didn't expect this, so I'm not as prepared as I usually would be.
Sorry, we're trying to bang them all out
That's
tonight.
okay.
We haven't found a date where everyone's around on my list.
Yeah, yeah.
In your own words, why is it important for officers to understand the law beyond enforcing it?
I think it's important for them to understand it beyond enforcing it because essentially, you know, every citizen has rights, us officers included. And if we don't fully understand those rights or have people who understand those rights in the force to like the appropriate extent, then things can be, you know, people can be charged with the wrong things or, you know, we have to be on the right side of the law in order to enforce the law, and an appropriate knowledge of the law or the highest standard of knowledge of the law can only help improve the LSPD. That's my opinion.
Yeah. What is the biggest legal challenge that law enforcement officers face today?
Within the LSPD,
Yeah.
I say the biggest challenge right now within the LSPD is honestly, I'd say finding people who are appropriately bred up on the laws, which I hope this kind of getting people bar certified will change that at the minute. Because really, like, I think there is a lack of like the legal knowledge and but people are interested, which is, you know, really great. In terms of court and things like that, I think there is, you know, a kind of lack of understanding of how like the, you know, court procedures or you know, in terms of like how the cases are run and stuff like that, which I hope will improve. And to be honest, I'm kind of passionate about that because since I've had that experience with that court case, which I really enjoyed, like, you know, doing the research on it and, you know, making sure that everything was tip top shape. I think that people will actually enjoy it once they get into it and once people start getting their bar licenses. It'll just help the city overall.
Cool. Richard, can you do the next bit while I think about something?
Yeah, of course. What is the difference between probable cause and reasonable suspicion? Give us an example of each and how it would affect a case.
Okay, so in terms of so I'll start with reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion is like when you think someone is going to commit a crime, but you do not have the appropriate level of evidence. Like you don't have evidence that they are going to commit that crime or have committed a crime. So, and then the definition for probable cause, it's when you know somebody has committed a crime and that you have evidence of that. So, say for instance, an example I would use in terms of like someone selling drugs. If I show up to a suspicious handoff call that say one of the locals has called in, they said someone's acting suspiciously, and I arrive on the scene like by the pier, and I see a man that's kind of walking around the pier. He looks to be walking around aimlessly, like he's chatting to local people, or he seems to be like looking around at people. But I don't have any proof that it would, even if he was the only one on the pier, I don't have any proof that he is doing something illegal. Like I might be suspicious of him, that he's the only individual and there's been suspicious handoff calls, but I can't, I don't have evidence that he is selling drugs. But then if I stayed on that scene and he didn't see me and I was able to take a photograph of him handing a package that I could see is drugs, like a bag of weed over to somebody, and that they gave him money for that, then that would be the probable cause that I'd be able to, like, I have evidence that would hold up in court that would show that, he is guilty of that crime. So without the probable cause, you can't, like convict someone for it because there isn't enough proof. And it's important to get that because reasonable suspicion can only take you so far because, somebody, there are times when people are wrong, there could have been suspicious handoff calls, but they could have been, they could have been false or something like that. You never know. So it's important to get the proof. Does that answer the question? Is there anything I missed there?
No, that was great. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you name 3 of our case laws, or a few of the case laws, and why you think they are significant for law enforcement?
Sure. So one case law that's used a lot is the Terry versus Ohio, 1968. And
Yeah,
that
so-
is to do with if you believe a suspect is armed and dangerous. It's to do with the Terry frisk. So, being able to frisk them for a weapon. So if someone is armed and dangerous, like you see them running with a gun, that you've heard of shots fired, you see them fleeing from the scene, and then they could put that gun in their pocket, you'd be able to frisk them for a gun. You wouldn't be able to search them, but that's one of the laws. Let me think of another one. Miranda versus Arizona, so 1966, to do with the reading of Miranda rights. So someone can only be questioned by the police once they've been read their rights after they've received medical treatment. If you plan on questioning the suspect in relation to something that they've done. And they can't be read those rights if they're under the influence. Also, I would say, let me think. In relation to that one, I guess I could say Rhode Island versus Innis, which is the spontaneous statement law. Basically, that if someone hasn't been read their Miranda rights yet, but they have made a spontaneous statement, essentially, where they've been read their rights. Like they have said, like we show up to a scene and we don't get the chance to read them their rights, but they've said, yes, I shot this person. Then that can still be used as evidence, as long as it's not in response to police questioning. I think I did 3. Did you ask
Yeah.
for 3?
That was
Okay.
great.
Mm-hmm.
But you did also kind of brush over a bit of Tennessee v. Garner. So do you want to explain how that affects the use of force within the PD?
Oh, Tennessee v. Garner. So basically, that's the fleeing felon law. So, yeah, if a suspect shoots at officers and then they put their gun away, they're still a threat to the officers because they still have the gun. It's just put away, and that leads into the Terry frisk then.
I've
that
got a
right?
question about Terry versus yeah, that one. Not
Yeah.
Terry, no, I mean Tennessee versus Ghana. If
Mhm.
a suspect is fleeing, however, they are unarmed, how do you pose a threat to public safety and officer safety? What do you do in that situation?
So you're saying they're fleeing, but I know they're unarmed?
They're fleeing, but pose a threat to public safety and officers.
They pose a threat, but if I know that they are unarmed, I wouldn't use lethal force. If they were running, I would probably use my taser, tackle, and then cuff them with appropriate time in between. If I knew, but in terms of if they, if I suspected that they were armed, then it would be kind of a different level of force if I knew that they had a gun.
Right, cool. Rich, continue.
What's your understanding of the fruit from the poisonous tree doctrine, and how will it impact an investigation?
My understanding of it is that, like, if it's like from an illegal search, that it's inadmissible in court. So if someone was to like illegally search a vehicle and then they find, you know, evidence that proves that somebody committed a crime or there's drugs in someone's vehicle, it's inadmissible in court. So you cannot use that evidence. And that's to do with like interrogations as well. Like if you didn't read some of their rights, or if there was, some negligence or some, something like that. It
Okay.
wouldn't be able to be used in court. So
Do you want me to move on to courtroom procedure?
Pickering's can do that.
Okay.
Jack, you there?
Yeah, I'm in it. Right. What objections can be made in court regarding police testimonies? Explain at least 3.
regarding police testimonies, or just general objections?
I think general objections covers it, so that works.
Okay. I would say like one objection would be relevance. So it would kind of be when, say if I was in court and the person, like the opposition, was saying that, like asking questions that aren't related to the case. So essentially, someone's like talking about someone's background, or things that like aren't relevant to the case, like, oh, is it true that you went on a date with somebody last night? And I'd be, say like objection relevance wise, the client's, dating history in relation to this or something like that. That's a weird example to use, but I'm going to use that one. And then let's see, like asked and answered would be another one. And that would be like if someone is kind of asking the same question of the witness to try and get them to like say a different answer. If like they have already like clearly outlined like their opinion on the situation or something like that, I would say, objection asked and answered. It's already been covered previously. And then I guess another one I would say was, did I do leading?
No, you haven't done that. No.
No. Okay, so leading, I would say that, the person would be questioning, but they'd like be kind of suggesting like an answer or putting like words in somebody's mouth a little bit. So, if they were saying, right, you saw that person holding the gun, didn't you? I would say like objection leading, because they are kind of like prompting an answer within their question. Is that all right?
Yeah, lovely.
Cool.
We'll move on to the next question. Right. How should an officer prepare for a trial testimony?
Like if they were giving a testimony?
Yeah, that is, and how would you prepare like beforehand?
If I was giving a like an officer testimony, like if I witnessed something and I was being called up. Is that
Yes.
correct? To be honest, I would like essentially try and write down everything that I've seen in relation to, say, if I witnessed a crime, if I was being called as a witness, I would write down everything, that I have witnessed. I might think about like the questions that I'm going to be asked and just, try and tell the truth in all aspects. Yeah, well, I would definitely just, write down what I was going to say in terms of like if it was for my own testimony. If I was also, if I was telling somebody if they weren't confident with, giving their own testimony, another officer, I would just say to, to be clear, concise, tell the truth, and yeah.
Okay. Oh, I've lost. Yeah, here we go. How do you respond if a defense attorney tries to discredit you on the stand?
If they tried to, can you give me an example of that?
I mean, so so you're on the stand,
Yeah.
and then they're like, so you're telling me a story about John Smith, and
Mhm.
then an example would be like, oh, but didn't you lie about Peter Smith the other week and tried to discredit your information or discredit your trust? I don't know the word.
Mhm.
Your worthiness for trust, kind of. So how would you?
To be honest,
How would you respond?
I would probably like if it was in a trial, I would probably ask the judge if we could have a sidebar and then just discuss it with the judge because it doesn't seem like appropriate behavior.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was like a kind of argumentative, and then it would go from there what the judge would see appropriate.
Yep, lovely. A defense attorney argues that you lacked probable cause for an arrest. How do you justify your decision in court?
Like before it was taken to court, if like to justify the decision, I would just show all of the evidence that we collected that kind of backs up the arrest. So whether that's images, statements, anything like that, and just make sure that, I, show that to the judge, and then that's for them to decide based on the evidence and proof that we have collected, whether it's sufficient or not. But to be honest, yeah, I would be anything that I would be, bringing to court or anything like that. I would always want to have the, the appropriate level of evidence, whether it's physical, even like bringing something to the courtroom for the judge to see as well. You can, have it in or evidence and make sure that it's submitted beforehand. So in terms of like in the docket, submitting, say if you have an interview like I did before, like I did an interview, but I submitted the transcript beforehand. So
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
Mhm.
What should an officer avoid doing when giving testimonies in court?
They should avoid. Let me think about this one. Can you give me a second to think about this one?
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
there's
you
a
crack
lot of
on.
things you should avoid.
I think it's just common sense. I mean, I grasp that
Yeah.
aspect of it, but yeah, you crack on. You take your time.
Let me think. They should avoid getting. I don't want to say getting emotional, but I think that they should try like their job is to provide like accurate testimony. So I would say, avoid getting argumentative if they are being cross-examined. Just, try and give the answers that you believe are true and that, always tell the truth. Do not get argumentative with the opposition. I'd also say, what else would I say? I'm trying to think what would someone do that would be like inappropriate. Also don't argue with the judge. I guess is another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm kind of at a loss for it because I don't know. I always
No,
think
you're good.
it's
So-
common sense to act appropriately,
exactly.
so I'm just struggling with that one.
Yeah, you're good.
Right, I've got a question. I've
Yeah.
got a question. If Respawn Row was involved in a court situation, can you or can you not be involved in that court case?
I don't think I can testify against him because he's my husband. But I guess it depends on the like if I was to prosecute or
So yeah,
I
so
don't
if
think I
you're
can be involved. I mean, honestly beforehand I would ask for legal counsel on that. I would get, I would get a full breadth of like if I, if there was ever a situation like that, I would want to know exactly the ins and outs of if he was, if he was involved, if I could be involved in that, if I was asked to be before.
cool. What question were we on? Jack, were we on the last one or
We are on 19 now,
19?
I think. Yeah, are we?
Right,
Yes,
ask 20.
Yeah, sure. If a prosecutor asks you to slightly alter your testimony to make the case stronger, what do you do? Do we to
Don't do
reread
it.
that? Felt like it scrambled.
No, my friend, don't do
Alright.
it.
Yeah, that's short and simple. Yep, that's it.
Right, I'll do the arrest warrants and all that jargon. Explain the process of obtaining a search warrant. What must you include in this warrant request?
So in terms of the warrant request, like you have to put it into a docket, so it needs to be signed off by a judge. So that would be like appropriate levels of evidence, if that's in terms of like blood on the scene, if, say, for instance, if someone has been involved in like a shootout against police and we have evidence that their blood is on the scene and the gun comes back to them, like the bullet casings are from their gun, but they have like fled the scene. We'd have to get like appropriate levels of evidence of that and then document that and try to get the judge's signature for that, like officer testimony, things like that.
What is the plain view doctrine? How does it apply to searches?
I'm not actually sure on that one. I might need to read up on that.
Cool. You make an arrest, but another officer fails to properly document evidence. How do you handle this?
In terms of, so if someone arrested someone and they failed to like document, I would see if there was any way that we could return to the scene and collect evidence there, or I would do my best to try and collect evidence out. Sorry, these 911 calls keep coming in. I would say, yeah, try my best to collect evidence, like, after the fact, as long as the crime scene hasn't been, like the evidence is still, hasn't been tampered with or anything like that. That's kind of dependent on the situation, you know what I mean? But in terms of like, if there was a case and there wasn't enough evidence, I would say that could, come back on that officer and just advise them, next time you need to do that, report it up the chain of command that they haven't like, appropriately collected evidence and that it could affect the case if there is a case going forward.
Alright, cool.
That's what I do, yeah.
That was the last question. Step aside.
I've got one more,
Oh,
if that's okay.
Okie dokie.
It's a it's a reasonably new kind of one. What is your understanding of the hot pursuit doctrine, and how does it apply with North Windar?
Oh, the hot pursuit is if they. My understanding of it, since I think Mint explained it to me, was that if they commit a crime in Los Santos and they flee into North Windar, that they can still be, arrested and kind of followed in for that crime because they're basically fleeing to the different country.
Yep,
That's
thank
my
you.
understanding of it. It's kind of a basic level, but yeah.
Yep, no worries.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I'll step outside.
alright. What's your opinions on it?
She's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, she admitted when she didn't know anything. And she did all right. Oh, better than the first one. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Pickering.
Yeah, all good.
Right, cool.
I also liked how she asked a leading question if she had talked about leading.
Uh-huh.
That was quite funny.
Yep.
Richard, do you want to deliver the news?
You,
What did you say? Pickering? What did
Either
you
one
say?
of you, I don't really care.
Hey, you crack on, mate. You go.
yeah. Unanimously, you've got a great knowledge, and you are getting bar certified today.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Right, cool. Alright. So I'm making a mental note of who's. Right, cool. Yep.
You
all-
will also be a great asset to teaching other officers as well.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I got like a lot of good experience from that trial that I did, even though it was, it was heavy, but so hopefully I can help.
Right, what's the sit rep with this airdrop then?
Is there an airdrop?
There's an airdrop.
Oh my god. Was that the notification?
Yep.
Oh,
Uh,
Jesus Christ.
How many officers are down there?
There's 3 officers and an airdrop and a shit ton of shots. But I wasn't really listening on the radio.
Because I need to get Rupert and Olivia down there for my fuck to get off my list.
Okay.
Can you,
I don't know if they'll be busy. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
let me check if they're down
hey,
there.
I don't know if I did give them a ping on the MDT and they were at that.
Shaggy, Declan, and Mint are there.
Shaggy, Declan, and Mint are there.
Are at the airdrop.
Let me give them a call.
So Olivia and Rupert might be okay. All right, thank you guys. Is there anything I need to do? Is just update that I'm bar certified or anything like that?
I'll do it on my end.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Is there any more or not?
There might be 2 more.
I'll run off now. If there is any, yeah.
Why? Chief Justice. Probably Chief Justice.
Right, put some more music on. So basically, she was great, honestly. Between the 2 things, I was writing up stuff for the thing.
go by the way. I don't know when you can. Don't fly out. Don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're going to be available. Because there's currently an airdrop going on.
No worries.
Set waypoint.
Yeah, the office I've been using just the one directly opposite. I'm still yet to get keys for the bigger office. Right.
Oh well, this one.
Yeah.
Running on PD radio, seeing if anyone's going to talk, see what's going on.
Yeah. So, an appeal has been submitted for Raj Pacquiao. Basically listing lack of evidence. The majority of evidence available in the cells was based off officer testimony and did not go into enough detail to determine guilt. Since the date of not guilty conversion, there has been no write-up or evidence added to the case's MDT, further showing the lack of evidence. Point 2, North Windar. Mr. Raj Pacquiao was arrested within the bounds of North Windar, and additional charges were placed on...
They're on their way. Oh, hit me to do that.
Ooh.
Sorry about that.
Norris. H1 H0 G1. There we go. So yeah. So oh, and police tends to claim validity under the Hopshit Doctrine. However, no charges or evidence of resisting arrest or reckless evading were presented, which is needed under this doctrine. So yeah, we're doing legal stuff.
Reggie's there.
Okay.
Why is Jack packing? Hold up. Go in there, tell him I'm gonna go find Jack Packer.
Yep.
Give me a sec.
Hello.
Hello there. You're on the opposite side to what we normally sit at these.
That's fine. Okay, beside you.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the third to show back up. How are you doing today, officer? The deputy chief, I believe.
That is correct. It is Deputy Chief, yes.
Are you doing well today? I know obviously there's a lot of busyness apparently.
Yeah, it's been a busy day, that's for sure. Ideally, we get this event done with as quick as possible.
Of course. Hopefully the third individual won't take too long. Of course, I know it was going to be Saphira. Great game yesterday, to be fair. Is he still available? Yeah. I'm not going to message him just yet, 'cause it's only been like a minute or two. Put some music on anyway. While we're waiting.
I'm searching for some sunshine. Just need one ray through the dark skies. I gotta look for the bright side. I know we're gonna be alright. I know we're gonna be alright.
That is a fucking meeting about rocks. I want to get to fuck.
About rocks?
Yes, that's what I said.
He's meant to be a lawyer, not a geologist.
Oh, not a fucking materials merchant. That's the real thing he's looking for.
Fuck is he?
Just make it through another day. As these dark clouds will go away.
Yeah, the appeal docket's been put up. So just a Raj picker in. They're not
What
picker
about
in.
Rupert?
Pacquiao.
What the fuck is he doing? Rocks.
Hope everyone in chat's doing well.
He's on his way. I think this is him. fuck is that?
Was that someone knocking on the door?
No. Sound like a judge's gavel or something like that. Hey, who's that? Fucking head, dick. Alright. River, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you all right.
Alright, cool. Just state your name and call sign for me, please.
402, Deputy Chief Rupert Lockridge Fuller.
Cool. What has made you interesting? Sorry, what has made you
Interesting.
interested in obtaining a bar license?
It's very simple. I like shitting on lawyers who aren't very good at their jobs.
What do you believe? What do you believe legal training will improve the LSPD?
It's very simple. It means that we can't be bullied by lawyers who are shit at their jobs.
In your own words, why is it important for officers to understand the law but beyond just enforcing it?
It's very simple because sometimes lawyers come into the cells, right, and they're really argumentative. But the fact of the matter is, they're shit at their jobs. And sometimes they want to go to court over really silly things and then get their fucking asses handed to them because they tell us the entirety of our own case in their opening statements. And they
Yes.
just need to be put in their places.
Okay.
What do you think the biggest legal challenge currently in the LSPD?
I've just realised I got music on.
The biggest legal challenge.
Yeah.
The only one's Mickey Brown. The rest of them are all shit at their jobs.
Cool. What's the difference between probable cause and a reasonable suspicion?
Would you prefer the dictionary definition of both, or would you like the difference between the two?
Difference between the two.
Okay, well, I'll define them first. Reasonable suspicion is when a police officer has the honestly held belief that a crime either has been, will be, or is about to be committed, and this knowledge can be based off of evidence presented to them, or alternatively by knowledge outside of that, such as their own real-world experience, or the knowledge that they've gained and evidence they've been given by other colleagues. The difference between that and probable cause is that an officer has clear 100% evidence that a crime has been committed, and they have this due to clear and distinct evidence.
Cool.
One of them allows us to violate people's rights, and the other doesn't. Well, it does, but less so.
Explain the significance of Terry versus Ohio in law
It's very, very
enforcement.
simple. Terry versus Ohio upheld that a frisk of a person that an officer has a reasonable suspicion to have committed a crime, and that also they suspect to be armed and dangerous, may be frisked for a weapon without infringing upon their Fourth Amendment rights. Fifth Amendment.
Yep. When are Miranda rights required to be read, and what happens if they are not?
Well, what Miranda rights do is they legitimize any statements made under questioning by police officers. However, it is important to note that spontaneous utterance is recognized in this state, and furthermore, if you do not intend to question a suspect, you have no obligation whatsoever to Mirandize them.
Yep.
I like how everyone's got the same beard.
What is the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine? How does it impact a investigation?
It's very simple. Essentially, it's very simple. If you start with bad PC, then everything that you glean off the back of that is therefore irrelevant. So, for example, if a warrant is deemed null and void, all evidence gained off the back of that warrant is also null and void.
Yep. Explain Tennessee versus Ghana and how it affects police use of force.
Very important. So, Tennessee versus Ghana is the honestly held belief an officer is upheld in the utilization of lethal force against a suspect who's committed a violent felony. And there's a couple of things to remember here. If the suspect is a known violent felon and they're believed to be armed, honestly held belief by an officer that they are armed, therefore lethal force can be deployed against them at any time. However, in practice, we ideally should be looking for a suspect either with a weapon in hand or directly fleeing, having been seen utilizing a lethal weapon of some kind. And it upholds that officers may utilize lethal force in those situations.
Cool. What constitutes an unlawful search and seizure under the Fourth Amendment?
An unlawful search and seizure.
Yep.
Well, the only time you have cause to search or seize items is either by warrant or by having probable cause. So anything that isn't that.
Cool. Can you tell me 3 objections in court?
The first one would be hearsay, which is used when a witness attempts to testify about a statement made by someone who is not testifying in court. The next would be leading, when a prosecutor or defense attorney is questioning a witness during the hearing process, but they do it in a way that suggests it. For example, you say something like, "You saw my client commit a crime, didn't you?" It would be relevant if they asked something outside the scope, such as if they were asking about an investigation into an officer who was involved in the case that hadn't been brought to court yet. It could be speculation, narrative, argumentative, asked and answered, authentication, and non-responsive, which can be called to compel a witness to answer.
How do you respond if a defense attorney tries to discredit you on the stand?
I'm sorry, give me a second, I was playing. Say again?
How do you respond if a defense attorney tries to discredit you on a stand?
Discredit myself?
Yeah.
Hang on. So a defense attorney. Sorry, you're saying I'm on the stand, right? I'm responding to questions as a witness.
Yep, and the defense attorney is trying to discredit you.
It's simply you've got to be very calm and you've got to clearly state the facts of the case without being argumentative.
Yep. A defense attorney argues that you lack probable cause for an arrest. How do you justify your decision in court?
Can you give me an example, or is this an open question?
Open question.
Well, you use evidence. So if we're in a bench trial, then we'd bring forward officer statements and have them verbalize those statements in order to ascertain what they saw, and the corroboration of those statements across multiple officers should provide us the ability to knock down any probable cause statement. Let's say, for example, we're talking about a drug dealing case. You know, we can discuss the fact that officers took photos and ask them if they've seen them off the report, etc.
Yep. Explain the process of obtaining a search warrant and what must be included in the warrant request.
Well, for a search warrant, you need probable cause that a property is specifically, or an individual connected to a property. You know, there's a probable cause that that property has been used for something. For example, I don't know, you have a photograph of someone fleeing a shootout, being directly followed to a property, entering that property. Then you could get, and then they come out and they're searched upon exiting the building, and they don't have a weapon on them, for example. But the RGS are positive. Then you have probable cause that that individual has offloaded that weapon inside there. So that's what you need. You need probable cause that is specific to the building itself, as well as kind of a scope of a warrant. And then you arrest the individual, you submit a warrant request, you know, name, address, statement of probable cause, state the property, state the offences, justify the warrant, and then put any supporting evidence in.
Yep. What is the plain view doctrine and how does it apply to searches?
Yes, nice and simple. Let's say, for example, I'm going into a property to search for, there's a couple of ways it could pertain, right? For example, if I enter a property and I'm searching for weapons, but I go in there and I find 100 marijuana plants, those are in plain view, and I should have to do something about that. However, if I however, the flip side of that is if I'm in hot pursuit of a suspect and I enter a property and I see those weed plants, I can do something about it. Does that make sense? If I go into a property in a hot pursuit, I can't go digging through boxes.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yep. you make an arrest, but another officer fails to properly document evidence. How do you handle this?
Say again, sorry.
You make an arrest, but another officer fails to properly document evidence. How do you handle this?
I speak to them. You know, do they have the ability to document the evidence properly? Have they failed to gather it? Is it an issue of them not having the correct tools and systems set up? We coach, develop, and learn through it. Is it something that could go to court and could set us further down the line? Yes or no? Is it relevant? Do we need to drop charges off the basis of this? It all depends on those metrics. On average, the best thing to do is just to communicate.
All right, cool. Striker, Pickering, any questions?
No,
Do I
more
have any
good.
questions? No, I'm fine. No.
All right, cool. Just step outside. We'll make our decision.
Thanks. I look forward to receiving my license.
Opinions? I think you did very well.
See, very, very obnoxious, but
Very, yeah. But he knows his stuff,
yeah,
and I don't see a reason why we can't give it to him. Obviously, I did get a very angry phone call because I said that he couldn't represent. Anyway, yeah, that's a story for another day. Right. Yes.
Yep.
yeah. You got your bar license, mate.
Thanks, fellas. Good day.
Have a good day.
Use a bandage.
Wait here. Don't go anywhere.
I've got to go. I've got to go and represent someone.
All right, cool. Come back straight away though.
James,
Hi.
I've got a civil case open that I need to chase up as well. Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
Did it just open?
Fucking hell. Paddy Lynch. His name is. It's been open for ages, and none of the PD have been waiting.
Give me a sec.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello, mate. You okay? Yeah, sweet. How can I help? Yeah, this is me. Yeah. I called you back. I was in a meeting. Sorry, mate. Waiting game, mate. It's I'm with the district center now, but I'm just sorting it all now. All right, mate. Nice one, mate. See you in a bit.
You out. Give me a sec. Checking something. Are you free? Yeah, no worries, no worries. All right, have a good night. All right, I don't need you anymore. Everything's sorted. I might need you another day though. But yeah.
Say it again. You what?
Olivia's gonna do a bar license another day
Sweet.
at some point. So you're free to do whatever you want.
Sound. Can you have a look at the civil case? Yeah.
Which one is it?
Paddy.
Paddy.
Yeah. Nice. I've got a shoot. Yeah.
No civil docket with Paddy on it. Hold up, looking.
I believe he said
Paddy
Lynch.
Lynch. Yeah, Paddy Lynch.
Lynch. Oh yeah.
There's nothing from the PD the whole
I
time.
believe the officer who is currently dealing with that is currently on LOA.
Right. Okay.
I believe.
Well, could it be transferred to someone else or?
Oh no, it doesn't seem like. Oh yeah, I'll email him and see what's
Nice
going
one.
on with that case.
All right. See you in a bit.
Right. Dash isn't available still. Ronnie Buster's not available. We're gonna go pick up our paycheck. See what happens legal-wise. But the appeal's been put in. It'll probably take a few days, and it'll be a lot of emails sent for it, but it's been good. Let's head up to bank. See how much we get. $3,000. Let's withdraw another 5.
So far, reports have discovered that the disappearances happen most frequently in so-called liminal spaces, referring to transitional or purely functional man-made areas of buildings where the boundaries of reality seem to blur. So far, school corridors, abandoned office buildings, and quiet subway stations have seen the most vanishing incidents.
Okay.
Experts believe that the unique properties of these abandoned locations may hold the key to understanding the phenomenon, acting as gateways that disrupt the fabric of reality.
we go. We'll head up to the top floor and just wait there, I guess. Okay. Okay. Email's been sent over as well. So. $85 months. Yeah, I'm guessing that's that person. Oh, he's still there. I don't think they've updated the lock on the other door yet. Yeah, no. I didn't know they had cameras in corners either. Obviously, there's no cameras in there. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing good. We've got an appeal in the pipeline. No worries, thanks, CJ. We've already put an appeal in today for a not guilty plea. We're still waiting to hopefully sign a business contract when Dash is available. contract written up for, well, a draft written up for contract. Okay.
I'm painting the sky with a candy green and the clouds with silver lines. I will never say what you meant to me when you ask what's on my mind. I'll cover it up with the dust that's settled down after all this time. Every bit of love's turned to rusted metal from all the tears I cried. You took over my brain, made me feel insane, trying to relate to you. But everything has changed, I'm not the same. Baby, I can see through you. When you hurt me, see my world revolved around you. But I'm learning that I'm better off without you. Yeah, I'm better off without you. Yeah, I'm better off without you.
I need to do this as
So I'm painting the sky with a candy green and the clouds with silver lines. Forgetting the time you were holding me and you told me that you were mine. You took over my brain, made me
yes.
feel insane, trying to relate to you. But everything has changed, I'm not the same. Baby, I can see through you. When you hurt me, see my world revolved around you. But I'm learning that I'm better off without you. Yeah, I'm better off without you.
Anyone else been sentient? No. Right, that's done. Happening on Twitter. So I want our first client to be a business. Like a first proper signed client to be a business.
you miles away. I've been wondering why you cannot stay. Till the sky's blue when they're always gray. Trying to soothe myself, but I can't find a way. Diva, I need you. Where did you go? I feel you. Diva, I need you. Where did you go? Where did you go? I feel you. Where did you go?
Just realised I've been muted this whole time while I've been trying to talk. Right, nothing's happening. We're gonna go and collect our paycheck. And then that probably might be us for the evening. We got some paperwork sorted out, which we needed to get sorted out. Got the appeal in, the main thing. We got a few bar certifications done. So yeah, we're just tow truck. Very interesting. Head up to City Hall, not City Hall, the bank, get our paycheck. Get things progressing. Okay. Although we might have a court appeal on Sunday. It looks like we will do. Especially if my client's available for Sunday. Should already be locked because I locked it when I got in. Grab our paycheck. $2K, not bad. Head back to the courthouse. truck's got. Right. We'll head back to the office, double check on a few things, and go from there, really. Right. Check on. Double check on.
Run for your fucking life.
Okay. With that all being said, it's time to head off. Let's see if there's anyone we can throw a raid over to. Which? I know there'll be a few people live, but a few people might have gone off. We're gonna raid Saphira. He plays Lockridge Fuller, who had the interview thing and got his bar certification. Obviously, he's a cop, so it's the other side of the law kind of thing, of the legal stand. But yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow during the day, and then hopefully during the evening as well. Yeah. If not, check out stuff on YouTube, and I'll see you next time for the next live stream.